Right, 1925, good luck. Oh, we have actually played before. Opponent 26,000 games, very good. Everything's kind of playable here. Let's just take. Just a temporary pawn. We're not really trying to keep this, but we could kind of try with that move. But we've got a nice check here now as he blundered here. This is an ultra sharp line. So if I take, well, it's got to be right to take, right? Because it's a pawn. There's another one. Okay, now I can just castle, can't I? Why not? I mean, maybe I can even risk f5. Okay, so can I go here and hit the rook again and hit the knight? What's wrong with that? Just hit the rook, hit the knight. Knight down. It's not an immediate one move threat, and the rook's a check. I think it's trying to be too technical here. That's what it feels like. So take. Just trying to play it a bit too technically. Now I can check here as well. If I check here, it gives you a development move. I could collect a pawn, but I need to develop. Get off in a draw. I don't want to draw. Let's check. If you block with a rook, I can play a rook over, I think. And king up, hopefully I can activate the knight or something like that. Or just take the pawn. Yeah, I think my opponent was just trying to be a little bit too technical in the opening. I just made one simple mistake, but there's still a long way to go to convert. Still a lot of effort needed here to try and convert this. What is it? A knight and two pawns. Sounds straightforward, but far from straightforward most of the time. But I think if you block with a rook, I just play rook across, and then I can trade the queen and the rooks off. That takes a lot of the risk out, and if you play a king up, I presume to just take. You go back and I just check again. Then maybe pawn up, something like that, activate the bishop, even though it hangs the rook. Or I can just bring the knight forward. Or as my opponent decided just to leave the game. Possibly. It's up to them, of course, how they play the games. I'm just checking the internet connection of my opponent there. Good connection. Mine should be excellent. It should be. It is. Yeah, rook does come up, so it's got to be right to play rook across. Bishop up here is actually a move though, isn't it? But then check. Ah, check isn't on. So rook here, you've actually got bishop up with a development move. So knight here. I actually prefer knight going this way. Put it on a defensive square, guard the pawn. Yeah, bishop up. Oh, but now I go here and hit the queen and the bishop. I mean, you could sack. But this is fine. This is fine, because then I can get the rook actually across. So I can check, you can block, but now I can come over. And you can't blockade, so I can just get the rook off the board. So this should just win on the spot now. You're going to have to guard it, and we just trade them off. Yeah, just get the bishop up, get the rook into play. The amateur games are never ever over till they're actually over. It's possible to mess anything up, but we should be good. But should be in R, and not necessarily the same thing, of course. Let's make sure I can come around here. One thing my opponent shouldn't do is just be silly and try and play the game too quickly now, though. There's a pawn I've just given away for no reason. Just come across and then take at the right moment here. Okay, so I guess we just want to rook over. If I had pawn up here there, I could have taken here, but Let's just throw a check in and take. Down, I think I'll find a take. Goes across. Let's check. Okay. Let's just take there and go after the final pawn. I'm just going to run my pawn here. That's a check. That wins the rook at the end there. That was a pretty decent game on it. One just went wrong in the opening. Let's see how they actually went wrong there. But that was a pretty decent game at my level. So we'll go back. It was 45 moves. So they're the move times for both players there. One very long think by opponent. About 90, a minute and a half in a blitz game. Otherwise, they were just playing every other move essentially instantly. It felt like we converted that one pretty well. It was just a little mistake in the opening, and it just led to a very difficult position to play for white. Yeah, that's what's been reflected in the analysis, and it's just a very early mistake on move 4. Wow, we still played 99%, see, but versus 91%. So apart from that mistake, opponents just played a really good game. It's just from a struggling position. But it changes here at move 4 here. I wonder if there was a different idea, because I took, didn't I? And I wonder if you could take here. It doesn't flag anything here, so this is all okay. The blunder is actually at move 8 here, but we're already plus now 1.5 better. Queen here instead of going here. And that's allowed all the carnage to happen with the queen check. And then we just collect a couple of pawns, castle, which opens up the option, of course, pawn up. But here then there's a nice little deflection move, so we attack 2 pieces at the same time. You can't create a 1-move checkmate threat, and that is a check capture as well. Then here, of course, it looks nice and fancy that, but it didn't actually do anything. As soon as we get the pieces off the board here, it's just a case of trying to be sensible and not blunder it away. Then opponent was just suddenly going too quickly again. Still got 30 seconds on the clock here. But they're almost going a bit too quickly there. So what were the final clock times? Yeah, a nice little trick at the very end of the game here as well with the check, but just as my opponent ran out of time, but we get a check, get the rook off. Okay, you can you can't actually take, you can come across, we take here. Actually, no, a check here, you come across, a check, and then I collect the rook. That's right, basic tactics. As long as you're paying attention, we keep the rook and we gain the other rook. We had 30 seconds left, opponent ran out of time, but you see there, spent, what was it on that move? 93, a minute and a half just on one move. Every other move was really, really quick. Every other move was very, very quick there. But so we played a really good game there. Got a comfortable position early on and we converted it very well. So at my level, very good game.